building a car, and that may be being a threat to you?
Well, I would encourage more participation by whoever it is to create electric vehicles. I think they should have embarked upon this project sooner, actually. The car industry is very big, so it's not as though there's, one company to the exclusion of others. I mean, I say, I think it's great that they're doing this and how it works out. It's quite hard to do, but I think companies like Apple will probably make a compelling electric car. It seems like the obvious thing to do.
Are you betting that that's going to happen? Have you heard anything?
Well, it's pretty hard to hide something if you hire over 1,000 engineers to do it.
So you think Apple is serious about it?
Yeah, I do. This is an open secret.
And will that be a threat to you, or will that just expand the industry?
I think it will expand the industry. Certainly Tesla would aspire to still make the most compelling electric vehicles, and that would be our goal, while at the same time trying to help other companies make electric cars as well. So, for example, last year we open sourced all of our patents, so anyone can use any of our patents for free.
What Google is doing. How do you assess what they're doing when you're looking at it? Because there'll be competitors at some point. These are all eventual competitors.
But I think what Google's done a great job of showing the potential of autonomous transport.
Right.
But they're not a car company, so they would potentially license their technology to other car companies. I think they announced something with Fiat, so I wouldn't say Google's a competitor because they're not a car company. We would compete with somebody perhaps that they license technology to, but not to them directly.
Right.
Apple?
Yeah, that'll be more direct.
That'll be more direct?
Yeah.
You can tell that by the hiring pattern and
Yeah,
that kind of
absolutely.
stuff? So what do you... Okay, so they're going to be
Given
more
they've hired a lot
direct.
of
How do you
Tesla
assess it?
I mean, I say I think it's great that they're doing this, and I hope it works out.
What's the time frame for them, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think they should have embarked upon this project sooner, actually. But I don't know. I don't know when they. I mean, they don't share with me the details of their production plans. But I don't think it's going to be. I don't think they'll be in volume production sooner than maybe 2020. That'd be like the soonest.
And is that too late? We say they should have embarked sooner. Is that because 2020 will be too late to stop you or beat you or compete with you or what?
No, it's just like it's a missed opportunity. It's just
It'll be over by 2020?
No, it's just like it's a couple of years. I think they'll probably make a good car and probably be successful. The car industry is very big, so it's not as though there's one company to the exclusion of others. There's like a dozen car companies in the world of significance. So, and the most that any company has is approximately 10% market share. So it's not like somebody comes up with a car and they're suddenly they kill everyone else. It's not that way. And the sheer scale of automotive manufacturing is just. It's hard to appreciate until you see the plants. I mean, they're gigantic.
Yeah,
like the industrial,
I have seen the plants.
Yeah, I mean, the sheer size of the industrial infrastructure is staggering.
Not just the assembly plant, but everything else that goes.
Yeah, the supply chain, exactly. The assembly plant is just a little
engine
tip
plant.
of the iceberg, really.
Yeah,
the assembly plant is literally the tip of the iceberg.
Phenomenal.
The supply chain is, once you go to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 suppliers, that's probably an order of magnitude more than the final assembly.
So you think Google will not be a competitor? Apple probably will be a direct competitor.
Yeah, sure.
What about the car companies?
I think they'll all be competitors. Yeah, sure.
Who do you see out there that has done a nice job so far? Mercedes or
GM
of what?
Of a competitive car.
Of the incumbents.
Potentially competitive car, I guess.
I don't think any of the car companies thus far have made a really great electric car. I mean, you tell me if you disagree, but I don't think yet that any of them have made a great electric car.
Okay.
They, presumably will continue to improve on what they've done so far, and then at some point they may make a car that's a great car, but no, they haven't done that yet. Well, trying to accelerate the advent of sustainable transport, so try to get the car industry to move towards electrification faster than they would otherwise move. So the fundamental value, long-term value that I see for Tesla is serving as a catalyst to accelerate the transition to sustainable transport. Well, electric cars are zero emission at the car level, so they're not producing CO2 or nitrous oxide or sulfur oxides or any of the sort of the noxious gases that any kind of combustion engine car would produce. And so if we can have sustainable energy production and combine that with electric cars, we have a long-term sustainable future. No, I think all transport, with the exception of rockets, will go fully electric. So that's why, I see the value of Tesla as an accelerant, as a catalyst in that transition. I think Tesla, maybe when one looks back on it from an historical perspective, it might accelerate that transition by a decade, maybe more. Like I said, the whole point of Tesla is to accelerate the transition to sustainable transport. If we could have made an affordable car right off the bat, we definitely would have. It's just that it takes time to refine the technology. If you think of any new technology, it takes multiple versions and economies of scale in order to make the technology accessible to the general public. You can look at, say, cell phones. In the early days of cell phones, they were very big and heavy and very expensive. But with successive design iterations and scaling up the production, we've brought it to the point where for $100 you can buy basically a supercomputer in your pocket. I think the two biggest revolutions in transport are electrification and autonomy. Those are the two biggest innovations since the moving production line, and they're both happening at about the same time. I think autonomy is extremely important, and I think in the long term, nobody will buy a car unless it is autonomous. It will be like having a manually operated elevator or something like that. You will only drive if you want to drive. It'll be like owning a car that is not self-driving in the long term. Will be like owning a horse. You would own it and you would use it for sentimental reasons, but not for daily use, really. Unlikely.